Hello, this is Dr. Robert Bartosh of Proactive Wellness and Injury Center, and our ongoing discussion regarding food additives that literally kill the brain. Today we want to focus on two additional ones, one of which I'm sure that most of you, even if you're reading the labels, have not seen it listed. However, if you have eaten artificially flavored butterscotch foods or butter flavored foods, chances are you've ingested it. And it's known as diacetyl or diacetyl. And on the label, however, it's usually listed as artificial butter flavoring or even natural flavors when you're eating a food that tastes like butter. It's most notoriously presented in one of the more popular snack foods, which is microwave popcorn. And the danger in this is that this notorious chemical literally has the ability to cross over what's called the blood-brain barrier, which is a barrier that has been created to basically protect the brain. But this chemical has the ability to pass through it, and when it does, it causes what are called amyloid clumpings, which we find in Alzheimer's patients notoriously. The amyloid clumping is like dead spots or non-functioning areas in the brain, and they're usually quite diffuse. And these areas, as I stated before, have been found now in Alzheimer's patients, and this is what this particular chemical is known for doing or creating. The other one I want to look at or focus or talk about today is aluminum, and it's a neurotoxin. And that simply means, as we refresh our memories here, it's toxic, number one, and it has an affinity for neural tissue, primarily the brain. Autopsies that have been performed as early as 1970 were showing that the aluminum deposits were increased in the brain of Alzheimer's individuals. And we get the contribution of aluminums from antacids like rolaids and TUMs and the proton pump inhibitors. We get it from various deodorants and antiperspirants. You get it from canned foods, also from various cookware, basically aluminum cookware, and also aluminum foil. So these are things that are ingested on a regular daily basis, which most of us will do. And even I forgot to mention the sodas that we drink out of a can, that also leaches the aluminum into that beverage. These chemicals have a way of building up, and progressively causing these problems in individuals. You know, at an age of 30, ingesting these chemicals, you may think that you're not ever going to succumb to these things, only to find out 30 years later that now you've been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, perhaps as a result of the foods or the chemicals that you have ingested over time. So the question now that is asked is, well, what can you do about these things? Well, when it comes to the diacetyl, these artificial butter flavorings, the better thing to do is to stay away from artificial or imitation and go with the real deal. Stay away from the microwave popcorn and start using the air poppers, or make your popcorn on the stove as they did in the past, only this time using perhaps coconut oil, which is very, very good for the brain. Also, with the aluminum, you can stay away from the antacids. You've got to ask yourself this question and find out what's causing my stomach to be upset. That's a better way of dealing with it than treating the upset stomach all the time with a TUMS or a Rolaids. Go to a doctor that can discover what it is that's giving you the propensity of indigestion. For the deodorants, look for deodorants or antiperspirants that don't have the aluminum in them. I also want to make note that, ladies, you know, when you're going in for the mammogram, you're basically told the day before or the day of not to use any antiperspirants or deodorants, and that's the reason why, because the aluminum is absorbed into the body and it may cloud the mammogram that they're taking. And as you're doing this over time, that aluminum builds up in the breast tissue, and it can result in some very serious issues down the road. The canned foods, you know, it's a little more expensive to buy fresh or frozen, but, you know, don't look at it as an expense, but rather as an investment, because it's a lot less expensive to maintain your health than it is to be on the more economic end and try to regain your health once you lose it. Also with the cookware and the foil, try something else, glassware or cast iron or the stainless steel. Those are some of the things that you can do. Be more selective, be more discriminant in your shopping and your choices, and be aware of the things that you're ingesting and putting onto your body. And always, the best thing that you can do in order to eliminate or reduce these toxins from building up is, of course, doing cellular detoxification. Once again, I hope that this information has been a benefit to you. And remember, one of the most powerful steps that you can take in order to maintain your health is, of course, to remain proactive. And as always, God bless.